Silencing Your Inner Saboteur, the Revolutionary Power of Intuitive Intelligence. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I want to begin by acknowledging the extraordinary woman whose work forms the foundation of what I'm about to share with you. Nicole Cleveland is a visionary force whose dedication to empowering Black professionals, particularly women, has created ripples of transformation across communities where intuitive intelligence has been systematically devalued. Through her groundbreaking platform, the Pink Parachute Diaries, Nicole has courageously challenged corporate America's status quo, helping countless individuals reclaim their inner wisdom in environments designed to make them doubt themselves. Her revolutionary approach doesn't just change careers, it changes lives. And today, her insights will challenge everything you thought you knew about decision making. Imagine for a moment that you possess an internal guidance system. Not just any system, a sophisticated, finely tuned instrument that integrates your lived experiences, your unconscious pattern recognition, and your deepest values into clear signals about which path to take. Now imagine that you've been taught systematically and relentlessly to ignore it. This is the reality for many of us, especially for Black professionals and entrepreneurs who navigate environments where their instincts are routinely questioned, dismissed, or outright rejected. What if I told you that one of the most revolutionary acts you could perform today is simply to trust yourself, that the voice you've been conditioned to doubt might be your greatest untapped resource? Today, I want to challenge a fundamental assumption that shapes how we make decisions in our personal and professional lives. We've been led to believe that rational analysis alone leads to optimal outcomes, that data trumps intuition, that spreadsheets outperform gut feelings. This belief is not just incomplete, it's fundamentally flawed, and it's costing us dearly. The truth is far more complex and far more interesting. Our intuition isn't some mystical force or unreliable emotional reaction. It's a sophisticated form of intelligence, one that processes information in ways our conscious mind cannot. But here's what Nicole Cleveland's work has revealed, and what might surprise you. The fear of listening to our own intuition is remarkably common and deeply ingrained. Many assume intuition is either a natural gift you either have or don't have, or an automatic response that requires no cultivation. The reality: most of us have been conditioned by society, by past experiences, by moments of self doubt to ignore or distrust that inner voice. This disconnection from our intuitive wisdom comes at an enormous cost. It leads to decisions that look good on paper but feel wrong in practice. It creates professionals who are technically competent but deeply unfulfilled. It produces organizations filled with people who have stopped asking the most important question: does this feel right to me? Let me share three key insights from Nicole's work that might transform how you think about your own inner guidance. First, intuition is not an innate, unchangeable trait. It's a skill that can be reclaimed. Even if life experiences have made you doubt your gut feelings, it's possible and profoundly empowering to rebuild trust in your intuition through self compassion and reflection. I want to tell you about a Black therapist Nicole worked with. This woman described growing up with a strong sense of intuitive clarity. As a child, she naturally trusted her instincts without question. But after experiencing a series of traumatic events as a young adult, events that shook her to her core, she began to doubt herself. She struggled with tuning out what she called her quiet voice, second guessing her instincts because of past experiences where she felt her intuition had failed her. The turning point came through her work with clients. While helping others build their own self trust, she began practicing the same principles herself. She learned that intuition isn't about being infallible, It's about accepting its limits while still valuing its guidance. Through this process, she reclaimed confidence as both a professional and an individual, learning not just to forgive herself, but also to recognize the value of her experience based wisdom. Today, she's gained recognition as an empathetic therapist, able to guide others through similar journeys. Her story has inspired other Black professionals struggling with imposter syndrome or workplace invalidation of their instincts. The second insight from Nicole's research is equally powerful. Fear often masks powerful inner guidance. The discomfort or anxiety we feel when making big decisions isn't always a warning sign to stop. Sometimes it's an invitation to listen more closely to what our inner wisdom is telling us. When we feel that flutter of nervousness before speaking truth at a power, or that knot in our stomach when considering a career change, we're not necessarily experiencing fear of the unknown. We might be feeling the tension between what we know is right for us and the social conditioning that tells us to play it safe. This brings me to the third insight. Practical tools exist for decision making beyond intellect alone. While frameworks and logical processes are important, integrating intuitive signals with structured decision making leads to better outcomes professionally and personally. Consider Annie Duke, a professional poker player turned decision scientist. She co founded the Alliance for Decision Education after realizing adults often lack systematic approaches for making tough choices. Most people either rely strictly on gut feelings without structure or overanalyze decisions into paralysis, rarely integrating both logic and inner knowing effectively. Her organization developed educational programs touching probability based frameworks alongside reflective practices so individuals could blend rational analysis with intuitive insights when facing uncertainty. Thousands now benefit from practical decision tools that honor gut input while grounding choices in data driven forecasts, notably improving career satisfaction rates among participants who previously feared change despite deep seated nudges toward new paths. What Duke observed in high stakes poker games applies equally to life's big decisions. Trusting your read is crucial, but so is understanding the odds. The Alliance has grown from local workshops into a national nonprofit, influencing K 12 curricula on critical thinking skills, including culturally responsive modules relevant for underrepresented communities, navigating systemic barriers in business leadership roles. This work has helped shift perceptions around decision making within professional networks by legitimizing intuitive intelligence alongside formal analysis, a message vital for anyone wrestling with the tension between fear and faith in themselves. But perhaps the most compelling example of intuition's power comes from the Black Professionals Network that Nicole highlighted in our conversation. This organization uses storytelling via social media campaigns, encouraging members not just to ask for elevation, but also to accept discomfort as part of growth, a process requiring deep personal trust, even amidst adversity. Members face workplace microaggressions and systemic bias that undermine confidence in their perspectives. They struggle with internal doubts about whether following their gut will be accepted or effective within majority white institutions. To address these challenges, the network created community forums fostering open dialogue about vulnerability. Their mentorship initiatives pair rising leaders with seasoned professionals who model what it looks like practically, even strategically, to heed one's inner compass during pivotal moments. The results speak volumes. Participants report increased willingness not only to take risks aligned with core values, but also to advocate boldly when instinct tells them something must change at work, even if initially unpopular. Founded out of necessity by trailblazers frustrated seeing talented peers stagnate due solely to lack of support validating non traditional approaches, this network has grown nationally through digital outreach amplifying these stories. They've expanded membership across multiple states and launched signature leadership summits focused specifically on cultivating authentic voices rather than conformity alone. Their impact extends beyond individual success stories. They've helped normalize conversations about emotional intelligence, including intuitive insight, as legitimate competencies essential at every level of business success within communities historically pressured toward assimilation over authenticity. As Maya Angelou wisely said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. This quote captures the essence of intuitive wisdom. That first impression, that immediate knowing, often contains profound truth if we're willing to listen. So, what does this mean for you? It means recognizing that the conventional wisdom about decision making is incomplete at best and harmful at worst. It means understanding that your intuition isn't some primitive leftover from our evolutionary past. It's a sophisticated information processing system that deserves your attention and respect. It means acknowledging that for Black women, especially, as Nicole Cleveland emphasizes in her work, reclaiming intuition can be a revolutionary act in environments designed to make you second guess yourself. The research is clear. People who integrate intuitive wisdom with analytical thinking make better decisions. They experience greater satisfaction with their choices. They navigate complexity more effectively. And perhaps most importantly, they live more authentic lives. But how do we begin this process of reclaiming our intuitive wisdom? Start by paying attention to physical sensations that accompany decision points, that tightness in your chest, that lightness in your step. These aren't random bodily events, they're information. Create space for reflection. Our intuition speaks most clearly in moments of quiet contemplation, not in the chaos of constant activity. Practice self compassion when your intuition seems to lead you astray. Remember that intuition isn't about perfection, it's about learning to interpret your internal signals with increasing accuracy over time. And perhaps most importantly, surround yourself with people who honor your intuitive wisdom rather than dismiss it. Community matters enormously in this journey. I want to leave you with this. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to more of the same decisions made from fear, choices that look good on paper, but leave us feeling hollow, lives directed by external validation rather than internal truth. The other path, the revolutionary path, leads to reclaiming our full humanity. It demands that we honor all forms of intelligence, including the wisdom that lives in our bodies, our emotions, our immediate knowing. I challenge you today to commit to one radical act of self trust, one decision, large or small, where you will listen to your intuition even when logic seems to point elsewhere. One moment where you will honor your inner voice above the chorus of doubt. Because when we reclaim our intuition, we don't just make better decisions, we reclaim our power. We reconnect with our authentic selves. We remember who we are beneath the layers of conditioning that tell us to doubt our deepest knowing. The revolution we need isn't just in our systems and institutions. It begins with trusting ourselves again. It starts right here, right now with you. Thank you.